All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain, or, the drywall, and take a look at the hidden, high stakes drama that's happening inside our homes every single day. This is an explainer on the secret life of your plumbing.
Seriously, just for a second, picture that old Victorian or that classic brownstone down the street. I mean, if those walls could talk, right? They tell you about generations of families, changing seasons, the whole history of the city itself.
But here's the thing. I think there's an even crazier story unfolding inside those walls. It's a story told not with words, but with drips and weird pressure changes and those groaning sounds you hear late at night. It's the story of the pipes, fighting this silent daily battle against time, temperature, and immense pressure. Now, to really get this story, we gotta understand the system itself. And honestly, the best way to think about your home's plumbing is like its circulatory system. It's this complex network, always working, mostly unseen, and yeah, absolutely essential for life in that house. So this system basically has two main parts. First, you've got the supply network. This is like the arterial system, right? It's pushing clean, fresh water into your faucets and appliances, and it's doing it under really high pressure. Then you've got the drain network, which uses the simple but super reliable force of gravity to get all the wastewater out. Two totally different jobs, two different forces, but they're all part of one interconnected system. Okay, so to see how this system gets pushed to its absolute limits, let's zoom in on a specific place, Cambridge, Massachusetts. I mean, it's one of America's oldest cities, so its homes give us the perfect case study for the kinds of long-term challenges that pretty much every plumbing system is going to face eventually. And the heart of the problem, it really comes down to the materials. So a historic Cambridge home, one built before, say, 1950, is probably running on galvanized steel pipes for its water and old clay pipes for its sewer line. Modern homes, totally different story. They're using super resilient PEX or copper and durable PVC for the drains. The materials that were chosen 100 years ago are the direct cause of the leaks and breaks that homeowners are freaking out about today. And on top of those old materials, Cambridge has what you might call a perfect storm of plumbing problems. You've got the super old housing stock, right? Then you add brutal New England winters that freeze and burst pipes. The soil is this clay that's constantly shifting and putting stress on buried lines. And then there's the hard water that clogs everything up. And of course, all those beautiful, mature trees whose roots are absolute experts at finding and destroying old sewer pipes. So what happens when you smash together 100-year-old materials with decades of intense environmental pressure? Well, things start to fail. And it doesn't happen all at once. It starts small, with just a few drips, and it can end in an absolute disaster. It often starts with something you've probably said or thought yourself. You go to turn on the shower, and it's more of a weak sprinkle than a powerful spray. Or maybe you fill up a glass of water, and it's got this kind of brownish, rusty tint to it. These are the first whispers from your pipes that something is seriously wrong. And the culprit is almost always this: corroded, galvanized steel. For decades, these pipes have been rusting away. But here's the kicker. It happens from the inside out. That rust builds up, and it acts just like a clog in an artery, choking off the flow of water. That's your low pressure. And the rusty color? Yeah, that's literally the pipe itself dissolving into your water. But the problems aren't just hiding inside the walls. If you're starting to notice that a bunch of drains are slow, or you're getting those weird gurgling sounds from the toilet, or even worse, foul odors in the basement, the issue is likely much, much bigger. And it's buried in your yard. The real issue here is that those old clay sewer pipes we talked about are incredibly vulnerable. That shifting soil creates these tiny little cracks, and that is all a tree root needs. It just pushes its way inside looking for water, and then it grows and grows until it creates this massive, impenetrable blockage. The result is, well, one of the worst plumbing nightmares a homeowner can possibly face. Okay, so the problems are old and, frankly, pretty daunting. But the good news is the solutions are brand new. Let's take a look at how modern technology has created this powerful new arsenal to fight these age-old problems. For a really tough sewer line clog, the difference in approach is just huge. A traditional snake, it just kind of pokes a hole through the blockage. But hydrojetting, wow. It uses this high-pressure blast of water to completely scour the entire inner surface of the pipe, removing everything: grease, mineral scale, and even those invasive tree roots. It doesn't just clear the clog. It basically makes the pipe like new again. And get this, for a broken sewer line, you don't have to excavate your entire front yard anymore.
With trenchless repair, they send a camera down to pinpoint the exact break. Then, through just 2 small holes, they pull a new, flexible liner into the old pipe. It hardens right there in place, creating a brand new, seamless pipe inside the old one. It's an incredible, minimally invasive fix.
And what about those failing galvanized pipes? Well, the ultimate fix is a full repipe with a modern material like PEX. Unlike steel, PEX just doesn't corrode. It's flexible, which makes it way easier to install in old houses with tight, weird spaces. And it even has some resistance to freezing and bursting, which is a huge advantage in a place like Cambridge.
So the big takeaway here is that you don't have to live in a historic home in Cambridge to learn from all this. Every single home's plumbing system is telling a story. The real trick is just knowing how to listen for those warning signs. And here they are. A sudden spike in your water bill, that could be a hidden leak. Those gurgling sounds could be a venting issue or a mainline blockage. Water stains, low pressure, foul smells, and a bunch of slow drains all at once. These are all classic symptoms that point directly back to the big problems we've just been talking about. See, these aren't just minor inconveniences you should try to ignore. They are vital clues. They're the language your house uses to tell you that something is wrong. And listening and acting early can be the difference between a simple repair and a full-blown catastrophe. So the next time you hear a strange gurgle from the drain or notice the water pressure seems a little low, don't just brush it off. Ask yourself, what story is my plumbing trying to tell me right now? And what secrets are my pipes keeping? Thanks for tuning in.